You know, when you have a lot to say, sometimes it's hard to know where to start. What's been on my mind lately is it can be boiled down to the lesson that God taught me, which was wonderful. How it works is there'll be moments where God connects with you and shows you something, usually very simple. Something very simple, but it ends up becoming a foundation because of the impact that it has on you. And I want to tell you the story of that quickly, of where he showed me that. God keeps his lessons so simple to me that they apply to everybody. And there's a purpose in that. Because what he shows me is about knowing him in the daily walk. And about the purpose of knowing God. Knowing God all the time is the key to having a great, fulfilled, wonderful life. You could say, yeah, it's the key to salvation, right? The key to, getting to go to heaven after you die, that idea. Sure, that's important. But honestly, I'm sure you've heard it before. God doesn't really want you focused on the hereafter. He wants you focused on the here and now with God. And that's really what you should do as far as your walk with God is concerned. You should focus on the here and now, not on getting rewards in the hereafter. You should focus on what he's doing with you now, what your life is, turning into with him now, because you can have his guidance as you go, step by step. And that's how you live a life with God. It's having his guidance as you go. You don't know where he's going to take you. I mean, you can get an idea. And he can reveal more and more to you as you go along. But you don't know where he's going to take you in the end. He illustrated that to us simply by saying that Abraham was the father of faith. And Abraham, he traveled to a land that he knew not. In other words, he didn't know where he was going before he went. God said go, and he just went. And that's the way life with God is. You might think that sounds like everything's up in the air and uncertain. But it's so not. It's so not. Just know wherever God is going to take you is going to be good. And it's not only going to be just good in general, but it's going to be very good specifically for you and what he has for you to do. And a fulfilling for you, and a fulfilling of his calling on your life, which is part of the great reward. The great reward. The big one that we're all wanting more than anything. Part of it. But part of it is some of the simple stuff that he shows me just about knowing him. And I'm here to tell you about that, because that's what he's given me in pictures, right? In understandings, connections, ways that the Bible relates to your life now, ways that your life relates to the Bible. Because hearing the voice of God is the whole point of reading the Bible in the first place. You're hearing the voice of God through prophets and people who wrote the Bible. But to get God's word, it's not just reading the Bible. To get God's word is hearing him speak to you. It says every man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Father. Correct? He's not talking about the Bible there. He's talking about every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. That's not even a lesson. Like I said, when you got a lot to say, sometimes it's hard to know where to start. The lesson The lesson he taught me, it was simple. It's you might have heard me talk about it before. It's where he showed me that I would get a work attitude. I was going to the back of the store to grab a cart to work with, and everybody likes to be kind of selfish with their carts, so they come in the morning and they put a little bit of stuff on each and every cart that's back in the back room, so you can't just go grab one of them because they claim it, by putting something on it, which is, selfish in the first place, obviously, right? So I'm going back there to grab this cart. I took that little bit of stuff off that one cart and stuck it on another cart, and took it with me. And when I got out the door and I got away, and as soon as I got with myself and God, I realized, oh, wait a second. It's almost like I'm pushing him out of my consciousness for a moment while I did that, so I could just get it and do it quickly and get it done and get going. I get a work attitude. From that point on, he's used that moment to help teach me not to get that work, not to push him out of my consciousness when I'm doing things. Don't do it. Go ahead and include him while you do things. And how do you do that? Well, that's the key to so many things. It unlocks so many things. Because it's the central thing. It's like, what is the attitude of your heart at any given moment? That's kind of the question there. What's the attitude of your heart in any moment when you're doing anything? What's your motivation? You could spend a whole lot of time trying to figure it out and spend every moment analyzing it, but every moment that you spend analyzing what's in your heart is a moment that you're not actually focusing on God. So that's a trap in itself. So don't get caught in that trap. It's a simple thing. No, the point is just go ahead. Don't be analyzing stuff, because you don't really need to know anyway. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you stay in him as he stays in you. All that matters is that he is a part of what's going on in your heart when you move about your day. Right? You don't have to analyze it. You can feel it. You know when God is a part of what you're doing and saying, when you're not hiding your face from him on the inside of you. See, that's what it is. And another great lesson, this one's from the Bible, where Adam went and hid himself because he was ashamed because he had eaten of the fruit of the garden, right? And this when he went and hid himself. And God said, where are you, Adam? Of course, God knew where Adam was. But he was making a point to Adam. Why are you hiding from me? So don't hide from him inside your own heart. Because that's where he lives. And like I said, see, this opens up a lot of things. A lot of wonderful, beautiful things about what it is to know God. Because he's already there in your heart. So just don't hide your face from him inside you. Then you see, if you're hiding your face from God who is in your heart, then that means you're actually like hiding your face from your own self. You see? So don't do that either. Because when you're not united with God who is in your heart, see, that's how he's changed you, is because he's changed you at the center of you. If you're not with him like that, then you're not really yourself. You're not really seeing who you are. You're not fully aware of yourself, because he is at the center of it all.